guys, it's Stacey here with another Stampin' Up tutorial, and today we're going to make this little card here, which I just put together. So let's get to it. First of all, you're going to need a piece of cardstock in pink pirouette. This is A5 scored in half and folded over to give us our actual card. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a piece of designer series paper. This is Cheerful Treats. This is one of the new designer series paper released in the October catalogue, and it's really lovely. They're all double-sided, as you probably know, and they're just lovely. Anyway, we're going to use this side. This should measure 14 centimetres by 7 centimetres. And what we're going to do is we're going to back it on a piece of Concord Crush, and that measures 14.5 by 7.5, so that just fits on nicely. So I'm going to go ahead and do that just now. Okay, put that on there. And the Concord Crush is one of the in colours for 2010-2012, so this is the last year that we'll have that. I'm going to edge a piece of Bashful Blue paper. This measures 14 by 2.5. We only need a thin strip. And I'm going to edge this with the eyelet border punch, so just pop it in here and get this stamped off. This is really cute. I better line it up or else I'll end up getting it wrong. So I've just realised that there are an awful lot of punches in this project. That wasn't intentional. It wasn't on purpose, but I just it seems to have worked out that way, that I've just used a lot. So this is going to fit on the bottom, so I'm just going to put a little bit of snail adhesive on this, and I'm just going to... Now this piece measures 14 the same as the design series paper because I wanted it to fit underneath, so don't worry that it's slightly smaller than the Concord Crush piece. That was on purpose. Okay, so we'll just stick that on there like that, and then I'm just going to adhere this to the card. Get that on there. Okay, and it's always a good idea to use your grid paper to line things up. I don't always do it, to be honest, but I kind of feel happier when I do. So to make these flowers, I've used a piece of Concord Crush, and I've stamped that out with a fancy flower. Now I've gone ahead and done that because I wanted to run it through the square lattice embossing folder. So I've done that. I've also punched out a 3/4 inch circle, and I've run that through the square lattice embossing folder with a big shot. So I've done that already because that takes a little bit longer to do. And then I have a piece of scrap card, and I'm going to use the petal flower punch, and I'm only going to use 2 of the little petals, and I just want them to act as little leaves. And I'm just going to scrunch my flower a little bit just to give it a little bit more texture. Okay. And then I'm going to glue this on. I'll put the glue here because it can be hard to glue when the paper is very textured. And what I'm actually going to do is use a dimensional for this flower. just for the centre of the flower, like that, and then just a tiny bit of glue on these leaves. Okay, and then I'm going to use a corner punch just to edge the card. I find these quite stiff to do. So that's that. And the sentiment that I used was from Teeny Tiny Wishes. That's also just been released in October, Stampin' Up, and that's Happy Birthday. But for this one, I've heard that one of the Pink Ladies is not feeling very well. Pink Ladies is my Stampin' Up family, and our Stampin' Up mummy, I guess, is Michelle Last, who is fantastic. But oh, now what I'm looking for get well soon, so get well wishes, here we go. And I'm going to stamp it in Concord Crush again, just like the Happy Birthday. Good, and then just slightly down. And there you go. That was the card all done. And there you go. Very simple card, but it's pretty. I'm using lots of my new bits and bobs. So I hope you liked it and come back again soon. Thanks. Bye.